The Gering City Council interviews an applicant to fill a Ward 4 vacancy that could get the council back to full strength. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, the Gering City Council held a special meeting Thursday afternoon to interview the sole candidate for the Ward 4 City Council vacancy. Retired Gering police officer James Jackson answered a total of 6 questions before the council, citing reasons he chose Gering as a place to live and raise his family.
Well, like I said earlier, I chose this town because I wanted to raise my family here. I've been a part of this community for the last 26 years, and I hate to say love the community because it's kind of an unhealthy relationship to love something they can't love you back. But I really do have an immense fondness for this town. I like the fact that we're like the premier spot in the Panhandle for events, so like Bowling Glow, Oregon Trail Days, all of the marathons, the bike races, they all come here, and there's a reason they come here. It's because it's a great city.
Mayor Kent Ewing said he would make a recommendation during the next council meeting on April 14th. Then, following an orientation, the new council member will be sworn in and take the seat during the regular April 28th meeting. Well, tourism has certainly been a hotbed topic the last month here in Scottsville County, but one local now has the opportunity to represent the area on the state level. On March 26th, Governor Jim Pillen forwarded on his recommendations for appointment for the State Tourism Commission, and this week, Senator Rita Sanders read the accolades of our director of the Legacy of the Plains Museum.
David Wolf, new appointment, a UNL graduate, now located in the Panhandle, spent 8 years on the NRD's State Education Committee. He also served on his local county tourism board, and he is currently a member of the Nebraska Museum Association Board of Directors.
Wolf was one of 5 new appointees to the State Tourism Commission, who were all approved following a vote by the legislative body. And Western Nebraska Community College's Student Success Center hosted its annual career fair Wednesday at Cougar Palace at the Scottsville campus. More than 50 employers were on hand for the free event, which was open to all WNCC students, high school seniors, and community members from 1 to 4. The career opportunities ranged greatly, from careers in law enforcement, healthcare, education, and more. Nebraska's unemployment rate has slowly but steadily been on the rise as it sits at 3%, up from 2% just 2 years ago. We'll have more news right after this.
Whether you're gardening, searching for the perfect vacation home, or planning your next travel destination, your life is just as unique. Your Raymond James financial advisors, Jody Rosiska and Kevin Figg, get to know you, your passions, and your vision for the future, so you can live your life. That's life well planned.
When it comes to your health, you deserve the very best. At Morrill County Community Hospital, they provide top-notch care with compassion and expertise. From routine checkups to advanced surgeries, their dedicated team is here for you 24/7. With state-of-the-art technology and a patient-first approach, they ensure you and your loved ones receive the highest quality care. Because at Morrill County Community Hospital, your health is their priority. Visit Morrill County Community Hospital today in Bridgeport. Morrill County Community Hospital. Exceptional care right here at home.
Fly United Airlines, operated by SkyWest with Western Nebraska Regional Airport. United is dedicated to going the extra mile for you with daily flights to and from Denver, along with a commitment to excellent service. Reserve your flight today, and remember, United miles can be earned and redeemed with your flights. While at the airport, stop and enjoy authentic Italian food at Roma Italian Restaurant. Plus, Hertz Thrifty Car Rental is there for your car rental needs. Make life easier, relax, and get on board with Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
Welcome back. 5 Panhandle businesses sold alcohol to a minor in the latest round of compliance checks conducted recently by the Nebraska State Patrol. According to a news release, 25 businesses were inspected in Box Butte and Morrill counties on March 22nd, 2 of which who sold alcohol to a minor. A week later, minors were able to purchase alcohol at 3 out of the 43 Dawes and Sheridan County businesses that were inspected. The enforcement effort was supported by a grant from the Panhandle Public Health District and was part of a statewide NSP effort inspecting a total of 92 restaurants, bars, grocery, liquor, and convenience stores throughout 7 counties. Well, Attorney General Mike Hilgers hosted 52 students at the Nebraska State Capitol for this year's 2025 Attorney General's Youth Conference. 2 Panhandle students, Jodine Chesley and Emmeline O'Donnell of Chadron High School, were among this year's attendees. Joining Attorney General Hilgers in addressing the students were Governor Jim Pillen, Senator Beau Ballard, and Nebraska Supreme Court Justice Jason Bergevin. Additionally, students engaged with chiefs of several different bureaus in the Nebraska Attorney General's office and members of the Solicitor General team. Students joined together in the Warner Legislative Chamber, where they had the opportunity to debate a bill on social media use. They spent the day immersed in various topics related to government, law, and consumer protection issues.
Welcome to Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. Whether you're a wine enthusiast, a whiskey sommelier, a tequila connoisseur, or you just love your beer, Kelly's has the best selection of what you're looking for. Family owned and operated since 1946 and right on 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Come see us today at Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. And remember to be a good neighbor. Don't drink and drive. Kelly's Liquor, West 27th Street in Scottsbluff.
This is KNEB.TV weather from the KNEB Storm Center, your trusted source for weather.
Gorgeous day out there today as temperatures soared into the 80s, and we're going to stay in the 70s through about 9 o'clock or so. Then we'll dip down into the 60s and eventually the 50s and 40s overnight. Comfortably cool weather conditions overnight as we have a very gorgeous day today. Yesterday, 87 was the record high. We hit 71. Morning low right where it should be, right around 30 degrees. Another day of no precip out there. We're running about almost close to a half an inch short now for the month. And as you can see, the stretch of 80s that we had today and again tomorrow going to make 7 whole days in a row of above normal temperatures. That'll probably come crashing down, though, Sunday into Monday. Precip chances are pretty meager. Maybe next week, Wednesday night, Thursday, possibly with the storm system. It doesn't look overly promising, but we'll see. Wind's going to be strongest on Sunday and again on Thursday of next week. Severe weather threat non-existent here across the region Saturday. Can't rule out a marginal risk of some severe weather up in the Dakotas, and otherwise it's just going to be quiet here across the region. Temperatures right now, look at these 70s and 80s out there. Winds out of the south under 10 miles an hour, and gusts maybe to 20 to 25. Getting out the door tomorrow with a very nice looking day. Temperatures in the 50s to start our day. We'll be in the 70s by lunchtime and topping out in the mid-80s tomorrow afternoon. Clear skies, maybe just a high-level passing cloud overnight. We'll call it mainly clear. Tomorrow, a few more high-level clouds. That'll filter in. Maybe not make it seem quite as nice as today, but it's still going to be very, very nice. Then as we get late Sunday, I think we'll see a few shower and thunderstorms right along that I-80 corridor Sunday afternoon and evening. Can't rule a few of those out as we have windy conditions developing elsewhere. Overnight lows tonight only in the 40s. Some areas not even into the 40s, in the low 50s. Tomorrow, 80s across many region. We'll flirt with 90 in northeastern Colorado. And precip going to be limited except for along that I-80 corridor from some of those showers and storms on Sunday afternoon and evening. Forecast is mostly clear tonight, 44 for a low. Tomorrow it's going to be sunny to partly cloudy. Really an amazing day. 87 our high. Enjoy it. It's the best one of the weekend. We'll be 30 degrees cooler on Sunday with temps only in the 50s, near 60 on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, a brief warm-up back to near 80, and then we fall again by Thursday and Friday of next week into the low 60s.
I imagined retirement in a place where we could enjoy our golden years, where adventure and friendship are the only items on the schedule. The Garden Homes at Northfield gives us the luxury we planned for and peace of mind when it comes to convenience, safety, and comfort. We never have to stop and think about the day-to-day upkeep. We love to explore abroad, but most importantly in our backyard. So much to do, So much to see. Here at Northfield, we get the protection of life care, incredible tax benefits, and secured rates for aging services. It's peaceful, knowing that if our needs change, we'll be taken care of. And most importantly, that our kids will never have to make any tough decisions. There never seemed to be enough time to do all the things we wanted. Now we get to focus our energy on enjoying what this community has to offer. At the Garden Homes, life is ours again. A place we had dreamed about. A chance to focus on us.
First planter I saw rolling through the fields this past week was on Tuesday. So for some folks, it is now full speed ahead when it comes to the new growing season. But as we know, planting conditions are not the same across the board. In fact, they vary quite a bit from one area to the next. Market Journal's Bill Dodd takes a look at some of the potential challenges that corn producers might face as those planters are getting into the ground.
Corn and soybean producers gearing up for another planting season, field work is in full swing. However, every year producers make a large investment to grow the commodities we all depend on. That's why it's paramount for producers to make sure the soil they will be planting into is in good shape to break out the planters.
Everyone's concerned about the dry conditions and the drought. Yes, we've received moisture, thankfully, from that blizzard, and so it's helped our surface profile, but we're still not a full soil profile. And I don't know that much of Nebraska is. I don't know that for sure, but I just know for sure in my area of the state, as I've been taking soil samples, we're not there yet. So key things for being fit are making sure that for those who've received moisture, that it's not too wet to cause sidewall compaction when they're planting in their individual fields. Every field's a little bit different depending on tillage, residue, previous crop, and where they're at in the state too. There may be places also where we've got conditions that are dry, where that seed is going to be placed. So the key is trying to get that seed into good moisture, but not saturated conditions. We like to see corn at least at 2 inches, but Purdue University showed that we can plant corn as deep as 3.5. And we've had to do that the past couple of years with dry conditions in some parts of the state. So depending on the situation that your viewers are finding themselves in, that's the option for corn. Soybeans, I personally like to see soybeans still at 2 inches deep, but our university research shows 1.75 inches, so showed the best yield. So again, if you're thinking about dry conditions, for those producers planting into dry conditions, that is helpful, planting a little bit deeper, because if they're putting especially a pre-plant PPO herbicide on, if it's a dry condition and that gets watered in either from irrigation or rainfall, if it's shallow, that seed is shallow, it can cause that seed to imbibe that water and cause seedling damage too with some of those products. So those are all things to think about dry condition wise.
Beyond soil types and moisture profiles, a couple other things producers should be watching intently this time of year are soil temperatures and fine-tuning their planting depth.
Other things to think about for if the soil is fit include the soil temperatures. So this morning at 4 inches here in York, we were at 41 degrees. Still on the chilly side, even though we've got some warmer temperatures coming for highs, we still have lows that are pretty low, and so we're just going to have to watch the soil temperatures. For corn and soybeans, we do prefer to see a 50 degrees and warming trend of that soil temp. But I'm also okay as we look at the way that genetics have been for both corn and soybeans. We're at a 45 degrees on a warming trend for the next 5 to 7 days. That can be a good position to plant in as well. Personally, I have seen in this area of the state, I kind of recommend planting our soybeans first. Once that soybean, and the reason for that is the soybean imbibes water very quickly. It imbibes 50% of its seed weight very quickly, which allows it then to go into what's called the osmotic, osmotic stage where it can just rest. If the soil temperatures go down to 35 degrees or so, that seed is able to just sit there for a little while, without being damaged, as long as it's not saturated. So that's why in my area of the state, we've seen kind of a switch to planting soybeans before corn, as well as the yield benefit of that.
One popular inquiry among crop producers deals with seeding rates. This could be an opportunity to save some money for some producers. However, any decisions on seeding rates should always be discussed with your local seed dealer.
And for corn seeding rates, we recommend that you talk with your seed dealers because those hybrids just vary so much on what their curves are. But regarding soybeans, we just continue to find in heavier textured soils, so our silty clay loam soils, we've been able to drop 120,000 seeds per acre and aim for a final plant stand of 100,000 plants per acre. And we still, we've been doing this research since 2006. So every year we've had on-farm research studies, and still that's always the most, we don't see yield loss from that. And actually the most economical seeding rate is always 90,000, but I don't tell producers that they have to plant that. So, but it's a way as we think about economics right now, saving a little bit of money. So it's one place they can do that.
Dealing with current drought conditions could be a formidable challenge for many Nebraska producers at the moment. However, Nebraska Extension educators are on hand to help. Reporting for Market Journal, I'm Bill Dodd.
Military, first responders, teachers, Renewal by Andersen is offering a heartfelt thank you with its first ever appreciation sale. 20% off every window and door, no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months, plus an additional 9% off if purchased on the initial consultation. That's 29% off. Military, first responders, teachers, this is a limited time offer, so do not wait. Please book your free estimate right now at rbawyoming.com.
You deserve to have a building that will last for generations. With more than 110 years of experience and thousands of satisfied customers, Morton Buildings is the industry leader you can trust. If you're planning for a garage, farm shop, horse barn, storage building for your RV, boat, or collectibles, there's no better time to buy. Contact your local Morton sales office or visit mortonbuildings.com to get started today.
Let's take a peek at your weekend community calendar brought to you by Riverstone Bank.
The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. We're local and we love our community.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether it is building, buying, or renovating, we have the home loan or home equity line of credit to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And finally tonight, an adults-only prom night takes place in Scottsbluff this weekend to raise money towards the Reunited in Heaven Angel of Hope Children's Memorial Park. Supporters of the project are sponsoring the Starry Night Prom at the Scottsbluff Country Club on April 12th, with cocktails starting at 6 and dinner an hour later. The event will include games, prizes, a dance competition, music by DJ Everly, and the crowning of a king and queen. Tickets are $50 for singles and $100 per couple and must be purchased in advance online at a link you can find on our story at kneb.com. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great weekend. See you back here on Monday.